surprising.
Yeah.
So let's talk about 1857.
Sure.
Sure.
So who gets the Mangal Pandey category?
Just a minute. Before this,
Yeah,
I'd like to talk briefly. I'll just run over for 5 or 5 minutes. कि इससे पहले हुआ क्या था ये 1857 तक कितना पॉपुलर कैसे हुआ? How did EIC become so popular? ठीक है? I'll just quickly run over it. तो EIC set up its first factory in Hooghly in 1651. ठीक है? So the thing was Mughal was in control at that point of time. ठीक है? Mughal was in control at that point of time, and Aurangzeb was in power. So EIC somehow persuaded Aurangzeb to give zamindari rights of 3 villages. One of them included Kolkata. Right now, the Mughals' rule ended in 1857 officially, क्योंकि British Raj came at that point. But from 1707 onwards, the EIC knew that there is no powerful leader in Mughal. Why? Because Aurangzeb died in 1707. Okay? Now, as soon as Aurangzeb died, there was no other powerful leader in Mughal Raj, and that is when EIC started changing things. Okay? 1707. Now, there was this guy called Abhi Kolkata mein aage, they had 3 zamindari rights, but there was this guy called Siraj ud Daula. Okay, and there was this very famous Battle of Plassey. It happened in 1757. Okay, so Siraj-ud-Dawla was the Nawab of Kolkata, of Bengal presidency. He didn't like what EIC was doing. Okay, so he waged the war. Now, the important point is Siraj-ud-Dawla. I don't know if you're not. I think you're not able to see it clearly, but still. So Siraj-ud-Dawla, the person from Bihar, probably this guy, the person in between, and the leftmost guy. The leftmost guy was the Nawab of the whole country. That is the Mughals lineage guy. 3 of them together had waged a war against EIC in 1757, the famous Battle of Plassey. But because of simple, incoordination, because of no coordination, basically, they had lost. This was a huge blow. Siraj-ud-Dawla had to flee. He was later caught and killed. The Mughal king had become very, very less powerful, and so everything was lost. Okay, the main reason for them losing also was this guy called Mir Jahan. Okay, Mir Jahan.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, he actually बहुत बड़ा उसने धोखा दे दिया. He gave a very big blow to Siraj-ud-Dawla. He didn't take a certain section of the army that was supposed to be taken to the battleground of Battle of Plassey, because of which also they kind of lost. So after this, what happened? Siraj-ud-Dawla was killed. So EIC became powerful. Now EIC made Mir Jahan the puppet Nawab twice. Okay? This continued EIC, and then puppet Nawab and everything happened. However, फिर क्या होता है? Now they were not happy about this. They were like, this puppet Nawab thing and all is not working for us. We need complete control. Okay, they started doing this. So there was this guy called Shah Alam II, the official Mughal in charge at that point of time, the chief Mughal. Okay, he gave Diwani of Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. Okay, and he was forced to do so because he lost. And okay, and EIC was like, "हम बदले में will pay you annual taxes, but you give me the Diwani of these places." Diwani means now you are officially the king or whatever, and you will be able to control take the taxes. This was a very big turning point. I'll tell you why. So there is this economic thing ki whenever a model becomes self-sustaining, then that is when you know that this can go on forever and ever. Okay? That is when you know that that particular organization has become very powerful, and this is exactly what happened. So British became self-sufficient as soon as they got Diwani of these 3 things. How? They took money as revenues. They collected revenues from the people of these 3 places. Okay, right? Point number 1. Point number 2, with the revenue that they collected, they made goods, and they sold those goods over there only. Okay, तो पैसे उनका लिया, उन्हीं के पैसे से सामान बनाया और उधर ही भेजा, ठीक है. And the money that they collected was sent back to Europe, to British, no, to Britain basically. Yani, how did this become? I'm taking money from you. I'm selling you things of. I'm taking money from you. I'll make something out of it and sell you things so that I take more money from you. That extra wealth that I've accumulated, I'll send it back to Europe. Now, because till this point of time, they had to collect money from Europe to make goods and sell them. But as soon as they got the Diwani and started collecting revenues, the whole model became self-sufficient, economically speaking, and that is when things started to change. And iske baad the thing that we had talked about, subsidiary alliance happened and stuff happened, and and then this happened, and in 1857 the Sepoy Mutiny happened. Okay, and till then,
before we talk about 1857, I suddenly forgot about this war, the first war, I guess, the first Anglo-Mughal war.
Okay, yeah, please continue.
This is around when Aurangzeb was the emperor, right? Aurangzeb died when,
1707.
Like you told us, at 77. Yeah.
1707.
So the Britishers, yeah. So this is called the first Anglo-Mughal war, which I was just suddenly I came upon in my notes, and I was wondering why we didn't talk about it. It's the first Anglo-Indian war too, like the first war against the Britishers.
Okay.
So this happened between 1686 to 1690. Okay. And 1685 mein, the British East India Company refused to pay local taxes to this Shaista Khan करके, वहाँ पर एक Bengal का ये था governor.
Right, true.
And this time Mughal Empire is pretty tight because Aurangzeb's there, and
correct.
He had kept everything almost in order.
Yeah.
So when Child, the British commander named Josiah Child, captured several Mughal trading ships and set houses on fire of many Faujdars. Okay. And so basically how it started was that in the beginning they said no to paying local taxes, and Shaista Khan got angry. So suddenly these guys sent a lot of troops. So Shaista Khan ki gaand phat gayi. So it's like, okay, we'll probably compromise on the differences. But somehow, three British soldiers, they were strolling in a marketplace in this place called Hooghly.
Right.
And they quarreled with the Mughal officials, and that started off a friggin' war because the British soldiers were severely beaten up. Okay. The English admiral, he then told them that we're gonna open fire on the town and burn down 500 houses. Like I suggested before, that he set all these houses on fire. Okay. Now Aurangzeb, being the emperor he got damn pissed off.
Yeah.
He's like, भाई तू मेरे साथ कैसे चोद सकता है, मेरे साथ ये से कर कैसे सकता है?
Yeah.
So he legit destroyed the shit out of them, and he didn't stop until Child, the company commander, went and apologized to Aurangzeb. And not only that, he blocked every East India Company ka jo bhi they had made the money and whatever offices they had all over India. They got reduced to fortified towns in Madras and Bombay, which is their headquarters. That's it. Rest all, he took everything to himself. Now, he confiscated their property.
Talking about Aurangzeb's personality, something else to be, it's a very big thing in itself. But he was a powerful leader, is what we can say for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think until he had power, the Mughals could have actually fucked with the Britishers.
Yeah, but
that just instance of him reducing British Empire to just 2 headquarters when they had so many things is crazy.
But his subjects were generally not happy about his ruling. That's what I've read.
The whole country was not happy with how Aurangzeb was dealing with things because of his personality.
Yeah, he favored Muslims. There's no connection between Shivaji Maharaj and Britishers, if you know about it.
Is it so? I didn't know. When was
Shivaji
Shivaji Maharaj's rule actually?
We shall just check.
Because the British entered in 1609. 1608
तूने बोला
first time when they
1590.
entered in Surat. Yeah.
Oh, Vasco da Gama was 1590.
Vasco da Gama was 1498.
1498.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Vasco da Gama was 1498. Dutch first came in 1595. Danish first came in 1660. And
Dutch.
Brits came in 1608.
Okay.
Acha,
Kya
another
hai, bhai?
interesting fact, these three people were fighting amongst themselves. South mein, the Portuguese, the Dutch, the Danish and the British were fighting amongst themselves ki nahi mere ko chahiye, nahi mere ko chahiye. And the rulers over there were pissed off. They were like, "Arbe tu hota kaun hai mere land pe aake tu ladne wala, bhag yahan se." Like they were like that. That is why South, it took a lot of time for the East India Company to conquer South per se until Tipu Sultan, because they were like, the rulers were like, "You are no one over here."
Yeah, like now I realize, now that I wonder, Pondicherry, even when you go, more of French speakers than English speakers.
Exactly.
Remember?
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah, this.
So Shivaji was basically in power in 1650 to 1670.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was still
formally
pretty...
it was crowned in 74. But yeah, the main events of his life took place in the 1650s. So I quite don't see any connection. Fine. We'll move on to the 57.
Yeah, 57. I'll quickly tell what happened. Acha, यहाँ पे very important thing is I'll tell you there were, okay, thoda sa just briefly I'll tell you कि there was this guy called Clive. Okay, he was known as the Clive of India. Robert Clive, very powerful. East India Company का सबसे पहले, he was the first person who started things off. Very corrupt, powerful, very corrupt. Went back to Britain. Okay, he was charged with corruption. He was acquitted. When he went back to Britain, he was charged with corruption. He was acquitted. He committed suicide. Mar gaya sala. So he died. Clive of India died. Then there was this person called Warren Hastings. So basically, all the English governors, when they returned back to Britain, they were known as nabobs. Okay, the English-sized term of nawabs. Due to their lavish lifestyle. तो इधर का वो wealth लेते थे, उधर जाके अपना काम चलाते थे. ये this is what they did. ठीक है. अच्छा. तो in 18, okay. So breaking all of that off, just two very important points I had to tell. This thing, she's Queen Victoria. I'll tell you the connection now. Sepoy Mutiny happened in 1857. Sepoy Mutiny was the first time when people started attacking against East India Company in a mass scale. 1857. ठीक है. And in 1858, East India Company, the Britain decides that अभी East India Company नहीं रहेगा. East India Company's the official powers of India are officially transferred to Queen Victoria. She will be known as the Empress of India. That is Queen Victoria for you guys. I don't know why she is so creepy all the time. She's also responsible for the Kohinoor and stuff. We'll talk about that later. So that's Queen Victoria, 1850, and after East India Company goes off, the British Raj officially begins in 1858. We got independence in 1947. It took 90 years for us to beat the shit out of Britain. But it was officially in 1858 when India officially became a colonized thing, because British Raj had begun in 1858. अब तक जो भी हुआ था वो setup था East India Company का. When British Raj began, that is when atrocities began as well, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Now let's start the.
So Mangal Pandey, the first sepoy who.
One interesting point about the Kohinoor, actually, it had power.
Oh, Ranjit Singh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, correct. I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Kohinoor was digged from Hyderabad, I suppose. Kulli Qutub Shah.
Yeah, but while I was doing my research, I read that one of the main reasons for the annexation of his empire was one of the reasons was Kohinoor.
Oh,
Wow.
Kohinoor is officially the world's most famous diamond.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mr. Pandey.
Mr. Pandey. Mr. Pandey पे बात करो जी. So what I read was the day when he rebelled against the officer. I forgot his name. What is his name? अभी search करता हूँ मैं. रुक जा, मंगल पांडे का photo भी डालना है. रुक.
Yeah, one interesting point I would like to state here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the British people, they were like very क्या बोलते हैं, they were recognizing of the high caste rituals and stuff. So they did not interfere in all the rituals which the Indians did, which they are known for. Like they basically understood it quite properly. They
Yahi,
they
I
favored
think
the high caste.
this is a very important point because this is a very important point because
They were
South में when Danish and Dutch were there, neither Danish nor Dutch or Portuguese or French also all the four never actually played politics per se. ठीक है? It was British people who started off the trend of politics. That is why they became so, they understood what a divide and conquer could have done to India.
Correct. Yeah, there's one relating to this point. There's something about the partition as well. We'll come to that in the later part.
Yeah, so when I was reading about Mangal Pandey,
Yeah.
so he was उसके दौरे चढ़े हुए थे apparently.
Correct.
So he was really angry. He was pacing up and down, and the initial days before the attack, he was telling all his fellow sepoys to oppose what the leaders were telling them to do. And the day when he got pissed off, this officer named Lieutenant Bog, I think Bog is how you pronounce it. He told him to get in line or something, and this guy got so pissed off he just shot him while he was on his horse. He was on his horse, okay, and he was coming towards Mangal Pandey, and Mangal Pandey just took his musket, but the thing was he didn't shoot Lieutenant Bog. He shot the horse.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
He was
So
in
Lieutenant Bog,
religious frenzy or something.
yeah, he went into a crazy frenzy, and somehow one thing led to another. This guy, once his horse got shot down, he came up and tried to fight Mangal Pandey,
Mhm.
and there was another officer. So another guy, he told the other officer or sepoy to go hold him, but he said there's no soldiers in over there, and so we can't hold Mangal Pandey down. And Mangal Pandey ended up killing one of the officers.
Okay.
And in the end, somehow he was like going to commit suicide, I think, or something.
Yeah.
So he shot his leg.
Yeah, correct. He tried to commit
Shot his
suicide,
leg?
but he was correct.
Yeah, he shot his leg, but he didn't mortally wound himself.
Mhm.
Thing was next, the week after that, when they talked to him, so he said he was in a fit of rage, and that he did not know what he was doing at that point, but he knew the reason why he did it. So Mangal Pandey was Hindu, and of course the main reason why he rebelled was that the muskets which the Britishers had recently ordered had a muzzle which had cow or pork fillings. I think I don't know fillings, but something.
Yeah, the grease was it was coated with
Exactly.
cow thing.
The
Yeah.
grease was coated with either cow fat or pork fat. So
Yeah, that was the
which was
concern.
both against the basically people of Hindu and Muslim religion consider pig, and Hindus consider cows
Yeah,
sacred.
yeah.
I don't know about
We had
Muslims
talked about it in the
considering
last
pork
podcast.
sacred. So
Muslims
that
consider
led
pork
to
sacred.
Mangal Pandey. I don't know if they consider it sacred, but they're not allowed to touch it or
Refrain
consume
from
it.
eating it.
Okay.
They're restrained from eating it.
Yeah.
Acha.
So that was one of the reason why the rebel started. Okay, and Mangal Pandey, of course, and this was seen as a way to convert the soldiers into Christianity, because a
Mm.
lot of the captains'
Yes, they
wives
did
would
that.
give Bibles in Urdu and Hindu scriptures.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the biggest things
So
that British Raj did was they converted the hell out of India. Converted the hell out of India.
yeah, exactly.
We can see that impact till now. Also, there are people who do it. Unfortunately, now also forcefully they do it, and that's
Mm.
that's one of the biggest things that they did.
So that and the other reason which is used for Jhansi Ki Rani, Tatia Tope and Nana Sahib is that the Britishers were getting too much power. They were using the subsidy. Jhansi Ki Rani heard this rebel against the Britishers. Okay. So initially, when she heard, she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm not very, I don't care that much about it." But the Britishers came to her town and they tried to do the subsidiary alliance sort of thingy or something they were trying to do. जहाँ पे they caught part of the post where treasury and all the main stuff of the kingdom was kept.
Again, Jhansi
ठीक
was
है?
in
I think
Bundelkhand
this.
in Uttar Pradesh. Somewhere
She was, I don't know what झांसी.
बुंदेलखंड की रानी थी वो झांसी
बुंदेलखंड.
वाली रानी some poem was there I forgot it.
हाँ
I
वही.
would like to add a point here. This thing,
Yeah.
this Rani of Jhansi thing. This. Have you guys heard about the doctrine of flaps that was enacted, which angered Jhansi of Rani even more?
No.
Can you add upon that?
What is this?
It states that like they refuse to acknowledge their sons as legal heirs, so they'll take power after the ruler
Point.
is dead.
Yeah. It's a very important point. Yes. So yeah, actually, the British were like, अगर तुम्हारा officially बेटा है, अगर तू king है, if you are the king and तेरा officially कोई बेटा है, तो he can be the heir of the throne, but तेरा कोई बेटा नहीं है, so you will not be, if you are a queen that is trying to rule, then you will not be considered as king. Your city or village or kingdom will be taken over by British. This was, I think.
Yeah, she had an
Oh.
adopted child. She
Yeah,
did not have a son.
खूनी बेटा नहीं है रिश्ते वाला जो भी.
Correct.
So basically what happened is these British soldiers came and then she told them, "Ki we won't kill you, but you have to keep your guns down." ठीक है? So the Britishers were like, "Oh, okay, fine, छोड़ दिया." And then suddenly Jhansi Ki Rani is like, "Psych, okay," and
That was a game.
basically shot all of them. Shot all of them. They were dead.
Nice.
वो सारे मर गए. ठीक है? 4 days after the massacre, झांसी की रानी tried to contact the Britishers. ठीक है? And tell them कि ये ऐसा हुआ, ये वो हुआ. But she didn't tell that she killed them like this, कि where they were like they'd given off their this thing weapons and but she still killed them. Somehow these people found out, so they were like, "We're gonna come to your town and try to kill all of you." So there was an invasion of Jhansi by forces of the company allies of Orcha and Datia. ये पता नहीं क्या है. Anyways, तो ये लोग थे. इनका इंटेंशन था कि झांसी को डिवाइड कर दें इनके बीच में, इन दोनों के बीच में. बट उन लोगों का जो है हेल्प वो जब मांग रही थी ब्रिटिश वालों से, उनने कुछ हेल्प नहीं करा. एंड फ्रॉम 1857 अगस्त से लेके जनवरी तक पीसफुल था. एंड देन सडनली ये सारे लोग आ गए. दिस गाय नेम्ड ह्यू ग्रोव्स हु वाज कमांडिंग द ब्रिटिश फोर्सेस, he demanded the surrender of the city, but Jhansi Ki Rani said ki nothing doing and we'll try to fight and even till the last moment.
Okay.
ठीक है? But somehow they couldn't get it matlab, she couldn't hold up the place and she had to flee.
Yeah.
And in this fleeing process, she sent her other, just say what do you call it, henchman sort of person to go and dress like her and fight, so that they think that it's Jhansi ki Rani, and somehow that's the way Rani fled.
Yeah.
She fled to Tatia Tope and Nana Sahib. Tatia Tope is one of the greatest rebel generals of the 1857 rebel.
I have one small doubt.
Okay.
Jhansi ki Rani's official
Yeah.
name was Manikarnika. Was it so? Actual name?
I think Jhansi, it's Lakshmi Bai.
Rani Lakshmi Bai.
When she was born,
Lakshmi Pati Bai.
yeah, she was given
Rani
the
Lakshmi
name.
Bai was the name actually.
Yeah.
Manikarnika was
Lakshmi
the
Bai.
recently. Yeah.
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 So
Also, there was a movie
the
that came
Rani
out on Mangal
withdrew-
Pandey also, right? Amir Khan and
Oh.
Ajay Devgan.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry.
Hello. कट गया क्या इसका?
So you were talking
क्या
about
बोल
Lakshmi Bai. She had gone to Tope for support.
Tatia Tope and Nana Sahib, and they tried to fight off the Britishers. So they kept on going away and away until they reached Gwalior,
Okay.
and they joined the Indian forces, which was held with the Maratha Empire that time. That is, Nana Sahib is actually Maratha Peshwa, but now they were getting in contact with the Scindias, which is one of the chiefs which I told you, which Maratha Empire had.
Mhm.
Okay. Now they moved to Gwalior, intending to occupy the Gwalior fort, which was a very strategic point for the Britishers.
This was
Okay.
again in which year?
This was in 1857.
Oh, okay.
1858, I'm sorry. So somehow the rebels got the Gwalior fort, right?
Mhm.
And they defeated the British Empire over there. And now Jhansi ki Rani was skeptical. She knew that the Britishers were going to come back.
Yeah.
She tried to warn Nana Sahib and Tatia Tope. Hear her plea, and as the tale goes, the Britishers came back with a huge army, and they basically destroyed the rebellion then and there at Gwalior Fort after they came back with the huge numbers of troops.
Yeah, they carried on to Delhi, right? And proclaimed Bahadur Shah Zafar as the
Exactly.
Emperor of India.
Exactly. And so basically, because of this, because if they had heard Jhansi ki Rani's plea for this, they would have at least had a fighting chance against the Britishers, but
Mhm.
they didn't. Yeah, that was the sad thing.
Yeah.
So that means
Yeah.
means that from the south Tipu Sultan lost south का control मिल गया British राज को. North का उस तरफ का पूरा control, east का specifically, west का and north का
Indore and
yeah मिल गया. And then north का now Nitikesh you have to elaborate कि क्या हुआ था, then what had happened later. How come British colony kings का क्या हुआ?
नॉर्थ का बोला था ना मैं.
Yeah.
Anglo Punjab War.
Yeah. So that was in which year?
That was in the 1850s.
Okay.
10-15 years before the rebellion.
So during the same 1850-40 के time में south also they got the control. Even north का they got the control. East का they got the control. Sorry, west का they got the control. East का they already had because that's where they started off from. So
Yeah.
मैं इसका बताता हूँ, नाना साहिब का बताता हूँ.
हाँ.
तो नाना साहिब लखनऊ इश का जगह का था, मतलब not लखनऊ, he was the Maratha king.
Okay.
And the Britishers had decided to capture Kanpur, which was under Marathas that time.
Hmm.
Yeah. And he met Delhi ka king too, Bahadur Shah the second.
Yeah. He was the person Mughal in charge actually.
He wanted to capture Kanpur, I think, yeah. So he sent a lot of troops, and he had in fact told the Britishers that he sent the company leader a message saying that they would attack them the next day, but he didn't take it, like it was impertinent. And the next day, Nana Sahib has taken his troops and destroyed the whole garrison over there.
Oh.
And he took over Kanpur. And so the thing was, the interesting thing about taking over Kanpur was there were a lot of massacres. And now the Britishers had raised a white flag. So they said they wanted to go back to Allahabad. And Nana Sahib, क्या बोलते हैं, something had happened when they were sending them back through this सती चौरा करके बोलते हैं इसको, सती चौरा करके ये जगह है, घाट, सती चौरा घाट. So they were trying to send them back from there, and something happened, somebody shot or something, someone did something, and Nana Sahib got damn pissed off and he told them to kill everyone on that British ship.
Okay.
Yeah, or whatever. And so the Britishers got mad and they said they were going to come to Lucknow, and there's no way they could stop them from coming. So in this thing, there were 120 British women and children. Okay.
Oh,
in that.
It's painful. Okay.
This is the Bibigarh massacre.
Okay.
This is called the Bibigarh massacre, where this is what I'm talking about right now. And Nana Sahib and another few officials decided to kill the 120 women and children, British women.
Okay.
Because they didn't know what to do.
Okay.
And
I think वहाँ पे शायद I think things escalated very quickly.
Yeah, because of that, he killed off 120 women and children over there in cold blood. Even though he'd given the order, he couldn't stay there to look at the kids screaming. And the soldiers were so traumatized by that. Like after shooting once, they heard the screams, they were very scared and they couldn't do it. And so basically this other, I don't know I forgot the position and the guy's name. He was told by his wife to kill off these kids and women. So he had this, तूने butcher knife देखा है क्या? बड़ा सा butcher knife. It's not exactly like that, but it looks like that. And he killed them with a butcher knife.
Oh.
And it's the dark side of the 1857-1858 rebellion, when Nana Sahib literally told them to kill women and children.
Matlab,
Yeah,
the
even
situation was like that कि he couldn't have done anything. I mean, if you look into the atrocities that British had already committed, the East India Company had already done, killing randomly people, but that doesn't give the right to him to do it. But
yeah, they said that they were killing the women and children in retaliation to the soldiers who had lost their lives.
Yeah, even in Meerut, like people, they went into their homes and killed their wives and children, and even their servants who were basically Indians. They went kill them because they thought they were their allies and stuff. So,
अच्छा वहाँ पे so things were very very serious. वो part of India में I think like people like the kings and all were like crazy. I mean, they must have.
हाँ. एक flame से पूरा हर जगह spread. The Sikh Empire thing. So the Sikh Empire, which the British they had created, so they basically allied with the EIC. So they speculate this, but the main reason they think is because they feared the reinstatement of Mughal rule in India. The Aurangzeb had oppressed Sikhs very very much. So this is, I think, yeah, even I agree upon this. I think this is the reason.
True, yeah. I think it can be because Aurangzeb was a terrible leader. No, none of his citizens loved him or liked him per se. Probably if you would have taken the approval rating, then he would have had the least approval rating of them all. of all
Yeah.
the Mughal leaders, and probably Akbar would be having the highest. So that apart, uh,
अरे झांसी का रानी का पोस्टर थोड़ा गलत आ गया शायद.
Oh, nice.
so
मुझे
these were all
दूसरा डालने
powerful
थे
leaders,
सही.
Jhansi ki Rani,
Yeah.
Tipu Sultan, the Maratha warriors, Bahadur Shah to an extent at least, Mangal Pandey,
Yeah, but
powerful
all
people.
of us had their dark sides.
Yeah, now everyone.
Like India.
Tipu Sultan had
Yeah,
some
that's what
really bad things that were that he did. You know, uh,
Mhm.
I
that's so cute, man.
and I forgot to tell you one interesting point. That kid behind, that is her nephew, I think, or adopted son. Not, I don't know. I think it's her nephew,
Yeah,
not
he's an
adopted son.
adopted son only.
Yeah.
Adopted son again.
Yeah,
Adopted.
she didn't have kids at that point of time.
That's why she this top 10 of laps now. That's why she revolted basically.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
right,
she,
her son.
otherwise, just imagine if Jhansi Ki Rani would have had a son, then the son would have been the official person in charge, and I mean,
Yeah.
at least she would have been the son would have been the dummy, and she would have ruled the
Mm.
kingdom without any
Bro, this is the
official
best Jhansi
problem.
Ki Rani I've ever seen.
You should think about all the
Yeah.
small things that set off these kinds of big events. Now it's very, I mean, बहुत ही
No, I can't believe how the British has retaliated. Like, they had such big armies and they were strategic masters. I
they
am unfortunately I have to say it, but they were.
Yeah, they were. You take this. Wahi Europe mein, we had Scandinavian nations like the Dutch were there coming from Norway. We had Danish coming from Denmark, and we had Portuguese, coming from the Portugal and stuff. We had French also. But in mein se, none of these people had had that kind of strategy. Strategy for something not good. Strategy in a very cunning way, like
Manipulated
a fox.
bastards.
Like a fox.
Mhm.
Yeah. Politics were, they knew the politics, they knew the inside out of politics, and they started doing it over here. No other European colonizers did it. British did it, and we being us being innocent or whatever, we had to fall for their thing.
Yeah.
That's Nana Sahib, by the way. I was supposed to put all this while I was talking about them, but I was so engrossed I forgot
Nana
to
Sahib
put a
looks like
photo.
Baji Rao again. So all these people had the same kind of mustache.
ये सारे मराठी साले एक जैसे लगते हैं.
Great people. Marathas, they protected India from a lot of things, especially the southern part of India. When I digged into it, I think Mughals, we have to talk about Mughals in a separate video, the early history of India. But Mughals, South India was protected from Mughals only because of the Marathas. So
Marathas.
close to them.
Okay.
Okay, so we have covered how the north was, how the south was, how British Raj started. We are in 1860s, 1870s. We have covered till that point of time. Now, wahan se lekar till the independence, it's a separate video in itself. I'll be talking about it in the next podcast, guys. What do you say?
Yeah.
Cool.
चलो. Thank you.
So
Yeah,
the
good
random podcast will be
खुद का
back.
रिसर्च भी कर लो लोग थोड़ा. हम लोग तो मस्ती के लिए कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, we forgot to give the disclaimer. We don't know shit.
Disclaimer.
We don't know shit. We don't have any ideology. We are just speaking facts. We're spitting out facts.
हाँ,
All the
बिल्कुल
facts will be
experts
given
नहीं.
below in the description. Check them out. All the sources. Okay. No ideology. Nothing. We're
No
telling
ideology.
facts as they are.
साला बाप.
Now, Kriti pakka
रुक
pitega
जा,
kabhi.
मेरे को भी सेट करना है the next episode के लिए.
So next episode is going to be interesting because we are going to talk about Congress and
Congress,
and Mahatma and Nehru and Mr.
Mr.
Tilak. We're going to talk about Tilak. Okay, so let's end it. I'll keep that music, no, the music that we thought about.
Okay, fine.
Bye, peace.